Is your strategy for growing your YouTube subscribers working? Well, my name is Ileane, and today we're going to take a look at the new subscriber analytics that have been added to YouTube analytics. And we're going to see if some of my strategies have been working, and in some cases, where it hasn't been working. And we're also going to dive into those reports so that you can look back at your channel to see what you're doing that's working and continue to grow your subscriber base. Thanks so much for joining me today, and let's get right to it. Let's head over to the YouTube analytics and check out these new subscriber reports. Okay, so over on the left-hand side of your YouTube analytics, and you get there by going to youtube.com/analytics. You'll see that they've added a new tab over here, and that is for your subscribers. Let's just try to make things a little bit bigger here. Get me on there. Okay. Let's make sure I don't get in the way, though. I'm using the eCam Live, which I'm finding very, very useful and helpful with doing these live streams on YouTube because of the RTMP. Okay, so let me back up a little because I've already dove down into one of the reports. So let's just go back to the beginning. I have it in another tab. All right, you'll see now with these subscriber reports, really quick overview. You see how many subscribers you have in the 28-day period. If you want to change that, you guys know that you can go up here and change it to all these different views, last week, 7 days, all this stuff. And you can even do a lifetime view. Okay, so it's going to show you your subscribers, how many you've gained, and how many you've lost. Okay, so once you go there, and you can dive into the specific locations. This is the new piece that you weren't able to see before. You can find out the source of where your subscribers are coming from. So the watch page. Now, this is other, and YouTube does as much as they can to determine where people are subscribing from, but sometimes it's just not possible, especially if it's happening off of YouTube. So let's just take a look. Subscriptions from unspecified sources. Like for example, over on my blog, I have a subscriber widget, and someone could subscribe to my channel right from that widget over on my sidebar. So possibly those are some of the places that are showing up in other. Then your YouTube channel, meaning your channel page. Okay, that's why they always tell us to optimize our channel page. The interactive features, which would be your cards and your end screens. I did not mean to click on that. Let's just stay on this page for now. Other YouTube channel. So, we can all recommend channels over on our sidebar of our channel. And so someone has clicked on one of those that have recommended my channel. The subscription feed. This is where folks are actually watching the YouTube videos. When you want to see all of the channels that you subscribe to, you go to your subscription feed. Then the subscription channel list. You can check your list of all the channels you subscribe to, and people can unsubscribe from there as well, especially if they're pruning their subscription feed, and then closed accounts. Now, there may be some other sources that just don't apply to me, so I can't speak to that. All right, so let me just do a real quick look at what's going on with chat. And it doesn't look like, oh, Tish is here. Hello, Tish. So great to see you, my dear. Okay, thanks. And she said, it looks good. Wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so I want to specifically go into this area of the YouTube watch page, which just means that someone is literally watching one of your videos and then they subscribe. And I think this is probably the most important area that most of you should look at, but you know, it's all going to depend on your channel and how you've been growing your channel. You may find that your YouTube channel page is driving more subscriptions. But I think that in most cases, the majority of cases, especially if you have a smaller YouTube channel and you're not like one of these big folks that has over 100,000 subscribers or something like that, that you're going to be getting most of your subscribers. People watch a video and click that subscribe button. Now, they may go back to your channel page. It just all depends. Okay, so I had some anomaly last month. I talked about it in another video where you see here these subscribers jumped on September 30th. So that's kind of an anomaly. So I'm not going to ignore it, but I don't have a way of recreating that. It was just something that happened out of my control. YouTube just decided to show me some love on some suggested videos. And as you can see, they stopped doing it. So I'm not sure why that happened. And so we're not going to get into that. But I do know that this video, how to edit your YouTube live stream, is one that has been very popular and has been performing well over time since February the 12th of this year. Facebook Live audio is another one. So you can just go down the page, and this is what you need to do for your channel. And scroll down and see what videos are actually gaining subscribers. And the reason this is important is because you want to do more. You want to do more of those kinds of videos. So I know that people like when I'm talking about YouTube, Facebook. Okay, here's another one about YouTube. Here's another one about YouTube. Here's another one about YouTube. Okay, and this one's about a custom search on your blog. That's good too. Then here's something about Pinterest and your AdSense earnings, but it's about YouTube and so on. And then, you know, live streaming and YouTube, that kind of goes hand in hand. It's about video, right? So I continue to make that kind of content because not only am I getting subscribers, let's back up real quick and go up to just the overview so you can see the videos that are getting the most views. You see that those videos that are getting the most views are also the ones where I'm talking about YouTube and Facebook. All right, and some Instagram gets thrown in there as well. But I find that the folks that watch my channel for Instagram are maybe not always pleased with the content that they find there. So that's okay though. All right, and so here, this is really great information to know. If you're not looking at this page here, which is your overview, definitely go back and look at that as well, because this is going to let you know if those new videos that you've released are making it into your top 10. And I see that this one here is one that I did last weekend. This one here is the one that I did over this past weekend. So it's good to know that that made it into the top 10. And I literally was talking about this software that I'm using now, which is the Ecamm Live in that video. So if you haven't seen that, make sure, especially if you're on a Mac, make sure you go and check out the Ecamm Live. So it was great to know that it made it into the top 10 for this month. And I see that True Royal Family is here as well. Good morning, my dear. Thank you so much. All right, so let's go back into the subscriber reports, see what else I've learned. Now, remember, I did say that I'm going to talk about the good as well as the bad. So let's just get on webcam for just webcam only for a second. The other day, one of my friends, a big YouTuber here, Brian G. Johnson, and that's Brian G. Johnson TV. He's such an amazing YouTuber, always so prolific, so kind, and so giving. And I saw that he was on a live stream, and I just went and just immediately gave him a super chat. I didn't even hesitate. I think I gave him a $10 super chat. Not even thinking that he was going to go in and look at my channel and give me a channel review. So he gave me an off-the-cuff channel review, which was great. Gave me some fantastic tips. And one of the things that I've kind of struggling with right now, and I've been testing, is my thumbnails. And it's very, very important. I'm sure you guys know your thumbnail is really key to not only getting those people to watch your videos, but also with growing your subscribers. And here's why. Because people are subscribing from the watch page. So therefore, when they go to that watch page, it's the whole look and feel of the watch page, especially if they're on desktop, that can make them decide whether they're going to subscribe or not. So your YouTube channel page needs to convey to that person, yes, I want to subscribe to this channel. They have the content that I like. They're doing a great job with their branding and making sure there's a cohesive message there. And so luckily I got some very high marks from Brian about my banner and so forth, and even a lot of my thumbnails he really liked, and he gave me a little ways to tweak the thumbnails. But then there were some other thumbnails that he didn't think were congruent with the branding. Now, what of course I didn't get a chance to tell Brian because I was in and I was just taking it all in, is that there's two things going on. One is that I'm testing to see which thumbnails are more effective. Number two, we have a new graphic designer. And I have not wanted to go to her and say, no, do the thumbnails the way the other graphic designer did. And that's not, because she's creative, and maybe her creativity may, attract more YouTube subscribers. And I don't know, because this change just happened recently. So that's why when he went over to my channel page, he saw a difference in the thumbnails. And he's absolutely right. It's something that I need to take the time to go back and either pick one style or the other and stick to it. With that said, you guys know it's only so many hours in a day. But it's still something to be mindful of. And I say that to you because I'm sure you're strapped for time and you're trying to figure out what's really important. What's the most important thing that I should be focusing on right now? Should I worry about my thumbnails? Should I make sure that I've got this in place or that in place? Or should I be tweeting on Twitter or making sure that I put out a meme on Facebook every day? So you have to kind of weigh your content. And we all have to take a minute and step back. And, this is a good time to do this, right? With the change of seasons, with the year coming to an end, you may want to literally pick up a pen and paper or pencil and paper, or write it on your iPad screen. You know, some of us have those iPad minis, you can write on. I'm not saying Tish, I'm just. So sit and write down, like, what are you spending your time on? What are you dedicating your time on? That's why it's important to look at the analytics, because if you want to grow your channel, if you want to grow your subscribers on YouTube, if that's your main goal, then you want to focus on those things that are bringing you more subscribers. And the only way you're going to know that is when you go and look at your analytics to find out what's working. Now, you may have another goal, okay? Because I want to paint both sides of this picture, right? You may have a goal, like for me, I also want to grow my Patreon. And then I want people to know that I do have a website, because I have a podcast there. So yes, I am one of those folks that has a lot of irons in the fire. And I think it's okay. And that does not mean that, okay, if my channel is growing slowly but steadily, and I'm getting these really committed folks that want to subscribe. And in fact, speaking of that, I'm going to show this chat room because I can see that it's moving right along. So I want to share with you some of what's being said over in the chat. Hang on, let me get that going here. It's mostly Tish saying that, and the true royal family is there. And then Tish is saying to be mindful. Yes. And growing subscribers, hashtag growing subscribers. Thank you so much, Tish. And Ileane, iron in the fire. Thank you, Tish. Thank you so much. Yes. So let's go back now to our analytics. All right. So, keep that in mind, but take out that pen and paper and just jot down, give yourself some me time. And just say to yourself, I'll give you an example of something that I'm not all that much of a great fan of, but I know a lot of people use this. And Facebook, right? I use Facebook a lot because that's where my people are. That's where they congregate, okay? But then because of the way Facebook has tweaked their algorithm, there's so many tricks and tips that you have to get attention on Facebook, but yet they really have nothing to do with your message. They really have nothing to do with what you want to do. And so my friend from Post Planner, Josh, he'll say you're chumming the waters. And he uses this fishing analogy. You just put out all this stuff until you finally get the fish to bite. So we tend to, especially, and probably other networks too, but I'm going to pick on Facebook right now. We tend to post a lot of things because these are the things that get engagement. People like images. People like quotes. People like gifts. People like memes. We put all that stuff out there because we really want to one day hit them with that zinger that is really, come buy my stuff or come subscribe or whatever. Whatever your zinger is, right? But there's just so much time that we spinning our wheels just trying to get the Facebook algorithm to kick in. And this is why I don't focus on it as much. I had to take a step back and I say, yes, here's what I like to focus on. I like to focus on YouTube, my podcast, and my Patreon. Those are my priorities. Like right now, this video is live on my YouTube channel, but I'm going to make it unlisted and it's only going to be available to my patrons on Patreon. Okay, so you have to sometimes edit and delete stuff that doesn't work or that doesn't help you reach your goal. My goal and my real mission is to help people. I see people that are struggling with how to create content, how to build an audience, how to build an email list. So I want to help. All right. So this is why it's important. You don't have to do this every week. You don't have to do it every day, but you at least need to go in here once a month and look at whatever your key network is. But today we're talking about YouTube. But whatever that key metric that you're trying to grow, you need to go and look in your analytics, and you need to be able to track your success. Okay, that's why this stuff is here. You know, YouTube and a lot of these other platforms, they invest a lot of time and development into providing you with this information. And that's because it can make a big impact and make a big difference. Okay, so I'm getting off my soapbox. All right. So let's go back into the subscribers. Let's see what else can we discover about our subscribers here. Let's go back, because I went into the watch page. Now I'm going to go over to my YouTube channel. Remember I said we're going to look at what worked and what doesn't work, because I see here that I gained 4 subscribers, but I lost 17 from my channel. But let's see if I can find out any other additional information here with this particular thing. Of course, because it is just your one YouTube channel page, there's no breakdown to say that they were watching this video, then they went to your channel page, and then they unsubscribed. So basically what you can see is what countries they're coming from. So for some reason, there were a lot of unsubscribes from the US. You know, so I know that this has something to do with this crazy little anomaly that happened, or something that I did wrong on this date here. What is that? The 22nd? 10 people subscribed and 9 people unsubscribed. I'm not sure why that happened, but I may look and see if did I post a video that day? I'm not sure. I just can't imagine you losing subscribers. They're lost. Hey, Tish, you know, I'm glad you said that, dear. You're so supportive. But I got to tell you, I don't mind losing subscribers. I'm going to go to the chat so you guys can see that. I don't mind losing subscribers, because what that meant is that my content wasn't right for them. They didn't get what they thought they were going to get from the channel. Now, that could be my fault. I'm not sure. I try to convey as much as possible what I'll be talking about here, which is blogging and social media and YouTube. And to this point, I haven't even really talked about blogging as much as I used to, but a lot about YouTube. And as you saw from the subscribers, that's what people are watching. And even from my overview, people are watching my tutorials about YouTube. And you say, well, why? You know, there's all these guys out here talking about YouTube, right? You've got Nick Nimmin, Tim Schmoyer, Roberto Blake, Daryl Eves, Brian G. Johnson. I mean, the list just goes on and on. Hello, Damon. Great to see you. The list just goes on and on. But I've got to remind myself, and what makes me keep going and not concern myself with, well, gosh, there's so many folks out here. Is it like really a crowded niche? No, because I know that the folks that watch me, they like me. They like seeing my take on this. And I have a different experience. Most of these guys are doing this stuff for a living, and I'm not. And you're probably not. So you may be able to relate to me working YouTube in the mix with all of the other content that I'm creating. And, you know, I've been doing it for years. So I have the expertise, and I have the take that is different from all those other guys. Oh, and I can't forget to say Owen himself. That is one of my favorites. And I follow all those guys, and they all are, you know, wonderful. They're absolutely amazing. They all have different ways of looking at things. And like I said, I really appreciated getting that channel review, even though I wasn't asking for one from Brian G. Johnson, but I knew that one of the things that was going to be pointed out was the fact that my channel, and we'll just go over and look at my channel right now. My thumbnails are not consistent. And like I said, because we switched artists. So there's nothing I could do about that. And I did not want to impose. I wanted to see what this new artist, how things were going to perform. So let's just look at some of the feedback that I got from Brian. So let's just go over to the screen share. And we'll show the YouTube channel. Okay, so here, I always get great feedback on my banner. And, you know, this was a combination of things that led me to make this banner, but I just leave it as is because no one ever complains. But Brian did say, see, one of the things here I have is my website. I have that link there for my website. So if I'm trying to grow on YouTube, I want to get rid of that. And it's totally up to me. Same way with you and your channel. It's totally up to you. Do you want to grow your presence on YouTube, or are you trying to send people to your website? Now, I can tell you, if you're going to have the goal of sending people to your website, it's always going to be a battle between growing your YouTube channel and growing your website. Because YouTube doesn't want people going to your website. YouTube wants people to stay on YouTube. And it rewards creators. It rewards YouTube creators that keep people on YouTube. So even though it lets us have these links here, it really doesn't, YouTube doesn't really want people going to those links. They really want people to stay on their platform. Okay? So that's the thing about having a platform that's not your own. You got to play by their rules, right? And you guys all know that, but I just want to say it anyway. Okay, so let's see. I'm getting some feedback over here, so let me share that with you guys. And I'm probably losing track of time. I got to remember that. Oh, okay, we're still early. Okay, so the lovely Kid Japan is here. Hello, my dear. Watching from the van pool, Damon. All right, cool. And she's saying that, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Got so much stuff, it was getting in the way. I need to work on my thumbnails. I missed your new vid. I want to learn more. Ileane is so awesome, lovely. Oh, thank you so much, Tish. Okay, that's why I came to you. You're a woman and wise. Oh, thank you so much, dear. Like I said, you know, there's different takes. And it's just, to me, it's so ironic that all the other folks that talk about YouTube are men. You know, okay, of course, there's Amy Schmittauer, and then there's Sunny Leonard-Doozy. Those are the ones that are like the ones that are out at the conferences speaking about YouTube and stuff like that. And those gals are fantastic too, but they're also talking about it from a business standpoint. And then Amy is also talking about vlogging. And even though I kind of do vlogging, it's just that my vlogging happens to be tech because that's what I do all day. So, anywho, all right. So let's get back over in here. And yes, and Tish is doing something that I always like to encourage you guys to do. Click on those 3 dots over on the side of the chat. And when you click on those 3 dots, I'll show you the 3 dots I'm referring to. You'll see one of the options is to go to the person's channel. And then, you know, you go and then you subscribe to the channel. And so, of course, you don't see that pop up yet. Okay? So Tish has already done that with Damon and with lovely Kid Japan. So you guys all, you know, we're building a community here. So I appreciate you, Tish, for doing that. All right. So let's go back over to our analytics. Okay. And see what else we can find before I bid you guys adieu. Let's get the right screen share up. Hang on. One that says analytics. Okay, so let's go back to the top level of the subscriber reports and see what else we can find. All right, so we went to the YouTube watch page reports and we saw the videos people love for me to put out. YouTube videos about YouTube, right? And then also some about Facebook and a little about Instagram as well. Okay, I'm going to get my Snapchat groove back on too, so you guys be on the lookout for that. And then there's another thing that I think is a little interesting, which is good. The interactive features, that would be the YouTube cards and the YouTube end screens. So it's nice to know that those, I had 3 of those cards work, and then I got 3 subscribers. Nobody unsubscribed. You can't really unsubscribe from the card, so that's really mute. Other YouTube channels, we talked about that a little bit already. Now here, the subscription feed. So someone went to their subscription feed, saw all the latest videos, and when they saw mine, they were like, oh no, I didn't really mean to subscribe to her, and they unsubscribed. Fine, perfectly fine with me, because if you're not going to watch my videos, no point in you subscribing. Okay, so then there's a subscription channel list, and then there's closed accounts. And, you know, YouTube will regularly go through and close people's accounts. So let's go back into, let's just look at this other, because we didn't dive into that. Now here, you're mainly getting the countries. And we already know that United States is where some of my unsubscribers were coming from. But it's nice to know that Pakistan and Sri Lanka are subscribing in other ways. Okay, other than the watch page and so forth. Now, I'm not sure why these other countries are listed here. I guess every country, okay, looks like there's 192. So it looks like every country is listed, but these are the only ones that actually had activity. That's interesting to know that. I didn't, I think I just found out something that I had no idea about before. Okay, so with that, I think that I've given you enough information to think about not just your YouTube growth, but to also think about your personal growth and development. And, you know, sitting down, writing down some things, because I know, and I get this from, I have to give credit, I get this from my friend Robert Rose from the Content Marketing Institute. And he goes in, he deals with these big enterprise clients, and they have these programs. We've got this campaign going over here, we've got that campaign going over there. And he often says to them, and I'm saying to you, why? Why are you putting out so many quotes? Like, I know a lot of, I'll pick on quotes. I just picked that off the top of my head, okay? I'm not trying to pick on anybody. Why are you using so many quotes? Why are you taking the time to create all these image quotes? Like, how does that really, really help you? Or let's just say it's a funny meme. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes you just like to do it just because you like to do it, because it's fun. And if you're enjoying it, go for it. But what I'm talking about is when you've got this as part of your task list. Like, I must do this because this is the only way I'm going to survive on Facebook, is if I make a quote graphic every day and share that. And then you're like, oh, I don't have time. I don't have time to work on my content. I don't have time to engage with my audience. I don't have time to improve myself, take some time to invest in my education or build my email list because I'm making quote graphics. See, you don't think about it like that until you write it down. Until you write it down and say, these are the things that I'm doing. Like for me, I know that I like to create content. I know that I like doing these live videos. I know that I like using the Anchor app because I like the audio content piece. And that app has inspired me to create audio again. And it's great for bad hair days, like today, as you can see. But I just wanted to come on here today to talk to you. So that is a great thing for me to do. But I could also look at, I keep saving all these quotes that I'm going to go back later on and put my branding on. And I've always felt like that's such a crazy thing to do. It's not even my quote. I didn't even say it. And then here I go putting my logo on top of it. Somebody else said it. I'm giving them credit. You know, I put this quote, I find this image, and then, you know, I give them credit for the quote, but then I throw my logo on there. Like, why? Why? What's that got to do with me? Other than the fact that I looked for an image. You know, so anyway, you have to edit. You have to look at what's important. And analytics will help you determine what kind of content that you can do if you're serving your audience. And also, you know, just look at your profiles. You know, your YouTube channel is your profile on YouTube. But as other social networks, look at your profile. Oh, speaking of editing things, just to give myself a little pat on the back, I had a third Twitter account that I shut down the other day. You'll be very proud of me. And I just wrote on there, this is my last tweet on this account. And I'm not even going to tell you what the account is, because if you don't know, already it doesn't matter, because I'm not tweeting there anymore, right? And I just wrote, this is my last tweet on this account. Follow at Ileane. And then I gave a emoji, a kiss emoji. And, you know, and because I realized that I spend time curating content to go out on that Twitter account, but I didn't really have a goal for it. It was just like a great idea at the time. Okay, so you have to edit. And with that, if you want to become one of the patrons over on Patreon, just head over to patreon.com/Ileane. You can get in at the $5 a month level. And then there's also a $12 a month level. You can go over to Patreon and read what all those levels represent. And then there's also, for those who want like a consultation, a one-on-one on a monthly basis, there's the $25 a month level for that. So I've been getting a lot of requests for consultations, and it's like, well, you do know I have a day job, right? But if you're going to come in at the $25 level, and then as folks come into that, I'll assess it and see, because that's not something you can really scale, right? But right now, we have folks at the $12 level a month, but we'll see if we get any at the $25 level, and then the $5 levels. And then you always can super chat here on YouTube when I am live, like I am right now. So with that, guys, I'm just going to say, okay, really cool. I see, just review what's going on over here in the chat room real quick, because I do see that you guys gave me some feedback on what I was saying there. And Lovely Kid Japan was saying how she needs to work on her thumbnails. And then she also mentioned Amy when I was talking about Amy Porterfield. Her book, by the way, is Vlog Like a Boss, which you can go to I'm pretty sure you can go to vloglikeaboss.com, or you can go to savvysexysocial.com and you can get Amy's book. Amy's brilliant. I got to tell you, when I met her, she is super, super sweet in person, just like she is on her videos. And really, really smart and talented too. She can sing. And yes, personal growth and development. And you said Lovely Kid Japan says that she loves positive quotes. I like quotes too. I'm kind of a self-motivated person, though. Sometimes I think the quotes can be overdone. Like, people put out quotes. Like, for example, some folks put quotes out they have an automated platform to put out quotes. So they don't even read the quote, but they want you to read it and get inspired by it. That doesn't resonate with me. Not, if that's what they do, that's what they do. I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying, for me, that doesn't add up. If you're going to put out a quote, at least read it first. Don't automate it. That's just my opinion. For what it's worth. Okay. And then Lovely Kid Japan says she has no time for Facebook and Twitter. And Tish is agreeing with me. Yay. Thank you, Tish. So with that, guys, I really do appreciate you for coming out this early in the morning. And you know what I have to do? I have to get on the road and go up there and save the planet. It's one of the things we do at my day job. We help the world work better. So I hope that I've been able to help you do a better job at creating content and your personal development, and as well as focus, because I hate people being so stressed out. Oh, by the way, that reminds me, if you haven't got a copy of my daughter's book, The Anti-Hustle, you can go over to the Anti-Hustle book. And as a matter of fact, I'm so committed to that. I'm going to show it to you right now before we leave, because this book is so phenomenal. Let's get it up on screen. And some of what I've been talking about is sort of the same theme that she covers in the book. And, you can go here and find out everything that the book talks about. And right now it's $30. And I'm so proud of her for actually self-publishing the book. And she's actually, it's not on Amazon. You literally have to come over here and buy it. And it's flying off the shelf. She's in her second printing of the book. And, people understand that just hustling all the time is not really what it's all about. So I'm proud that she has put that message out there and laid out a framework for people who want to follow a different path other than this hustle. You got to work 19 hours a day and all that stuff. You don't have to do that. And she gives you a plan that over the course of a year that you can build a 6-figure business. And I watched her do it. So I know she knows what she's talking about. And she's helped thousands of people. And she's having a big conference this weekend. And I'm proud of her. So with that, I hope that you guys are getting inspired by some of the tips that I shared with you this morning. And I'm off. Bye for now.